Does Noel Gallagher believe in God? I believe in myself, because I'm sat here now. So in a way I do, but in another way I don't. Submit.
So, do you you watch each other? So if he was on here, did you watch him on here?
No.
Oh, so but he watches you.
Oh, he's obsessed. If you're watching this now, can you just say? Can we all say hello to him? Where is he? What camera's on there?
There you
Hi,
go.
Liam.
Both Liam and Noel Gallagher's bands always have at least two fellas who look like Noel Gallagher. Is this a contractual thing? I'm afraid to say that it is. But you know, at least we don't have two girls who look like Noel Gallagher. Because nobody wants to see that. Tweeted.
The end of 95, and we'd Morning Glory come out, and I think we'd done 12 million. That's 12 million count. 12 million in a year or something. And I'd had this conversation with Alan McGee in passing months before about how it's all about a chocolate brown Rolls Royce, man. That's what it's all about. And we go to this Christmas party, what Crayson are having, and on the way in is this chocolate brown Rolls Royce parked outside a hotel. I didn't think anything of it at the time. And I get in there, and Alan gets up and he starts making this speech about blah, 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 great guys, you're genius, you're a genius, you two are not, but you two are, you're all right. And he gets out this stack of little boxes, and he gives, you know, Bonehead his vintage Rolex, and he gives Griggs a vintage Rolex and Whitey, and then our kid a solid white silver vintage Rolex. And so I start there, and he says, no, for you, you know, and I'm going, oh, is that my Rolls Royce parked outside? And he went, who told him? And he berated everybody in the room. So he's gone around to everyone going, did you tell him? Did you tell him? I told you not to tell him. At this point, Liam was sat there going, Rolex. Rolls Royce. Rolex. Rolls Royce. And I'm going, Rolls Royce! Rolex!
Am I right in thinking that for Liam, the thought process...
Well, it's cool, because he can't tell the time and I can't drive, so we quit it.
Who is the nicer brother, Liam or Noel Gallagher, and why? Well, I mean, it goes without saying. Because I didn't try to sue anybody. That makes me nice, I think. Enter.
Well, I asked him if I could borrow his jacket, and he said he didn't know where it was anymore, so I had to find a friend who I had the same jacket.
Right.
And I sent him the photo, and he, like, replied being like, it's so funny, with loads of laughing faces, and then he replied being like, I was wearing black trainers. And I was like, oh.
Quality.
I didn't have any black trainers. He was like, yeah.
You did say earlier.
Why did Dave Grohl, spelled incorrectly, decide to leave Oasis? I don't know what that means. Dave Grohl was never in Oasis. Was he? I mean, I was fucking out of my mind most of the time, but was he ever in Oasis? I don't think so. He wishes.
The most memorable, technically, would be the one that I remember, which will be one of the last studio sessions. But not that I can remember any of recording. Definitely, maybe they would have been the most memorable. Kind of recording rock and roll style would have been memorable, if indeed I could fucking remember any of it, which I can't.
So, what do you think is bigger, your ego or your talent?
Hold up. Don't be scared.
It's a tough one.
I know.
Because I've got a pretty big fucking ego. I do think quite a lot of myself, I've got to say. But I'm probably going to go with my talent being a tiny little bit.
Does the talent produce the ego?
That's very, very perceptible.
Noel Gallagher, actually God. I mean, to most people, no. But to some people, yes. But as God doesn't actually exist, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to do until somebody better qualified comes along.
Well, folks, thank you so much for tuning in today. This is, as I mentioned, a special emergency broadcast. We had some big stuff happen to us over the weekend. Yeah, big stuff. I released a a live video of one of my favorite songs called Maritime Dream. It's like I said, it's a really big song to me. It's something that means a great deal. And I was really excited to get that out on YouTube. And I just want to say thank you for anybody that's popped in and taken a listen to that and watch. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm trying not to rush this because this is a live stream, not a video. So the video that we're talking about today, to me, is pretty important. It's pretty much in a vlog format because this is a vlog and we're going to be looking at a lot at a screen together. But in this vlog, I share my experience with reaching out to Jann Arden and her management team to share my new release, Maritime Dream, a heartfelt Canadiana track that I think that they would appreciate. And even just like a response of good track or something, you know what I mean? Or we'll pass this along. Would have been cool. So that's pretty much what this video is going to be about. What you'll see in this video is why I thought that Jann Arden would be interested in the song Maritime Dream. You'll take a look at the email that I sent out and the entire correspondence, so I'm not holding anything back, nothing's being censored. I'm not doxing anybody because this is all public information. We are going to find this out together. And I'm going to give some advice because I've already learned, this just happened over the weekend, guys. So I've already learned a few things just meditating on this experience and what what it actually means to me, how to kind of move forward, and that's pretty much it. So I don't want to hold up anything. I just want this to kind of be said. If you are an artist watching this, this video is for you. There's something here that I wish that I had known, and it takes a great leap of faith for us artists to do anything, let alone sell ourselves. So buckle up. Hopefully we get to learn some stuff together, and because there's eureka moments that happen for all of us. But we are going to be looking at, like I said, real information. Nobody's being doxxed because everything that I'm going to show is completely public. You guys could go find it yourself. And that kind of goes to show how easy this job is. So I don't want to hold up anything. Let's just get into this. So a lot of people that might be tuning in that's not Canadian, they might be like, who is Jann Arden and why do I care? Well, joke's on you. Jann Arden is a fantastic musician and a singer-songwriter and a Canadian legend. I think that she's up there with Celine. I think that she's up there, with the top of the top. So I'm going to make myself small over here. I'm just going to put myself over here in the corner because this video is not really about me. This is about the music industry in Canada. So some truth is going to be shown here today, folks. It's not outrageous. Anybody that's already in the industry that might be, watching, some of this will not come as a surprise. But for new artists, how do we go about this? What happens to the indie artist? Let's take a look at that perspective. So Jann Arden, she is, we'll just go to Wikipedia because that's where all of our authoritative information comes from these days. She's born, well, let's not even worry about her age. She doesn't want that out there. But she wrote a lot of songs. My favorite is Insensitive. It's a beautiful little ballad, and it's a powerful chorus. She was born in Calgary, Alberta, so she's an Albertan. She grew up in she has an incredible story, guys. But her career, let's focus on that because that's what we're worried about. She has put out a number of albums. The big stuff, kind of, the first one was in 1993, it looks like, and she's just been killing it all throughout her career. So good job, Jann. Keep that up. She's released, again, 2010, 2017, 2018. She was having some really good stuff. She's done acting. If you guys have ever watched anything on CBC, you probably watched Robson Arms. She's appeared on Corner Gas, a beloved Canadian show to myself. She's done a lot of stuff. She's a Canadian artist. She's not out there trying to get into the United States market too heavy, although she does tour just like any good artist should. But she's Canadian. She's all about her Juno Awards. She recently was just on a really cute sketch with Rick Mercer from This Hour is 22 Minutes. So, she's National Achievement Award from the Society of Composers, Authors, Music Publishers of SOCAN. Are you guys getting why I would want to reach out to Jann Arden regarding this Canadiana song of mine? Yeah. She cares about Canadian music. That's why I care about Jann Arden, as a Canadian musician and as somebody who appreciates Canadiana music. Queen's Diamond Jubilee. She's a big deal. Notable appearances, cosmetics. I mean, she's looking good. She's been on Ellen DeGeneres back in 1997, guys. Big deal. She toured with Michael Bublé. This is the deal. This is why I wanted to reach out to her. Now, to go back to the song Maritime Dream, I'm not going to, if you guys want to go listen to it, I think that the link is in the description, so feel free to go take a listen to that if you guys need context about what the song is about or why it should relate to Canadians or why it should relate to Jann. But, you know, the song is ultimately about Atlantic Canadians that have had to leave their homes in order to go fill up the workforce in Western Canada to bolster and keep everything productive out there. So, that's ultimately what the song's about. It's a relatable maritime story because many people have had to leave their homes in order to go supply for their family. That's Jann Arden. So, people are like, cool, now we know about Jann Arden. How did you get a hold of Jann Arden? Okay, here we go. Jann Arden management. This is Google, by the way, for anybody that might be wondering. This is Jann Arden management. Contact. And here we got management, store help from Universal Music. Big stuff, guys, big stuff. But booking inquiries we got here. What happens if I click on, what if I go to copy link address and if I put it in, let's say the address bar. Boom, Paquin Artist Agency. It's very easy to do research, guys, and get ahead and plan and strategize how you guys get to your next step. It's a matter sometimes of copying and pasting. These people are running artists. They don't have time to, you know, update their website every day for irrelevant or maybe too relevant information. So, what did I do whenever I came upon this? Well, there's 3 people that I really wanted to reach out to with this song. There was Jann Arden, you know, who is more or less a West Coastern artist in Canada. Or I wanted to reach out to Alan Doyle of Great Big Sea. Or I wanted to reach out to Jimmy Rankin, who I've been a fan of since I ever picked up a guitar and followed her around. And now as an older, more mature musician and listener, I really, really love everything that Jimmy does, including the whole Rankin family catalog. It's just another great Canadian gem that we have in Jimmy Rankin, and he's still touring today. God love him. So, what did I do? I took this email with Bruce Allen Agency. So she's with Bruce Allen. Well, who's Bruce Allen? This is all getting repetitive because you'll find that the entertainment industry in Canada is a rabbit hole. It's just a big circular rabbit hole because there's not a lot of acts. And look who we're talking about. We're talking about Bachman Turner Overdrive. We're talking about Jann Arden. We're talking about Anne Murray. We're talking about Bryan Adams. We're talking about Prism. We're talking about Loverboy and Michael Bublé. He also manages music producer Bob Rock. So that's also, you know, worth mentioning. I don't know anybody except for Michael Bublé that might be underneath 50 years old. So I'm going to leave that hang there. We were talking about the Canadian industry. This is the man. Bruce Allen is the man. If you were ever in the industry in the 90s, you wanted to be on Bruce Allen's radar. That's just the way it was. So anyway, now we know the backstory to this. Well, what did I do? This is where it gets good. This is the first email that I sent off. Greetings, my name is Jordan Matchett. That's who I am. I'm not lying about anything. I am a singer-songwriter who was born and raised on the Miramichi River of New Brunswick. I now reside in Western Canada. I wrote the song inspired by Stan Rogers, Jimmy Rankin, and Stompin' Tom. I would love to know what you think. This is about as general of an email as anybody is going to get as far as a solicitation or anything like that. I'm not giving deadlines. There's nothing crazy going on here. It's just my name, who I am, where I'm from, and what I do, and the product of what I do. Please, if you could take some time to listen to it, that would be lovely. It's not a lot to ask. It's a 3.5-minute song. It's literally radio standard. You could listen to my song instead of listening to any of the dribble that's going on mainstream radio in Canada today. You really honestly could. This is fine. This is 4 days ago. You guys can see this up on January 25th. Loop. At 11:30 a.m. Nice and bright and early in the morning. I sent this, I believe, right as I published this on YouTube, so that way they would be, right in her email. Hello, Simply Rain. Nice to see you today. Welcome in. It has been a long time. I've been trying to get back on my stream game, and without the game, obviously, I'm just trying to focus on the music and what I do and what I know, because I suck at games. I love them, but I've chosen not to. Yeah, I remember you. I remember you from GTA RP. I was also bad at that game too. I would get banned and everything like that. But yeah. I'm excited to see you in here today. Thank you. Thanks for popping in here on Twitch. We're basically talking about I reached out to a famous Canadian musician over the weekend with a new release, and I emailed them, as we can see here, and I'm going to go through basically how they responded and how I responded, and maybe how potentially other artists that are of the indie or independent model can respond, or maybe this can help them out in the future. So I'm just going to basically scroll down, because this was 4 days ago I sent this email. I did get a response back, which is so crazy. It's so crazy. I'm not sure if anybody's watched Dragon's Den before, but one of my favorite dragons on there was Arlene Dickinson. And I bought her book whenever I first started doing sales long, long ago. I think I read everybody's book on Dragon's Den except for Kevin O'Leary. Probably because he's a shit guitar player. But aside from that, Arlene Dickinson really said something valuable to me that I've carried on in my life. She said, email people that you believe that are out of your realm within your industry. You never know the connections that you might make. You might not know if you have a skill that they might need. You just don't know the outcome of reaching out to people that you admire. You don't. And it's lightning in a bottle. People talk about this all the time and they don't believe it, but it's really just a matter of outcome. And I hate to say it, but this music business, unbeknownst to a lot of musicians, there is a business aspect to it. And yeah, I'm just trying to play this game because that's exactly what it is. So what did Larson M at Bruce Allen say to me? She said, "Hello, Jordan." I'm going to get this nice and up. "Hello, Jordan. Thank you so much for reaching out. I'm really very sorry, but our offices are unable to review and critique other songwriters' works." I don't know how they would be unable to do that, given the fact that they're probably on a computer. Like, she was on a computer to write this. But she's unable to review and critique other songwriters' works. Their artists, our artists. I'm going to do that again. 1 second here. Yeah. Our artists. I'm going to continue this. Our artists do not consider... I can't do it. Damn. This should be big enough. Our artists do not consider original songs from other artists, as they only record their own material. Well, needless to say, that was pretty disheartening to hear from Michelle of Jann Arden Management in Vancouver with Bruce Allen. It was very discouraging. I honestly, guys, didn't know what to do there. I had no idea what to do. It was pretty discouraging. You know, all I wanted was just a little something, like nice melody, or maybe, you know, shorten it up, you know, cut the fat, do something productive from the big people upstairs in our industry would have been helpful. It might have helped me continue creating better songs, or working on that one and maybe re-releasing it, or reconsider taking it off YouTube. But that's kind of how it went. I waited a bit. I waited a whole day almost to get back to them. And I just, this whole email, I just kept reading over and over. And it just, one thing particularly baffled me, and I've already gone over it. Our artists do not consider original songs from other artists, as they record their own material. Guys, let's go back to Google. Has Jann Arden ever released covers What? No way. Google's lying. Well, it is AI. It is AI, so this could be wrong. But Arden's first album of exclusive cover songs released in 2007. The album included the song Bring the Boys Home, originally released in 1971 as an anti-Vietnam War song. Well, you gotta love people that are against the Vietnam War, for sure. You gotta tout that. She also promoted the album. Wait. Arden's 2025 album of cover songs from the 1990s. The album includes cover songs by TLC, Robin, Seal, Joan Osborne, The Laws, Simon and Garfunkel. Well, they're not from the 90s. Don Henley, Sia, Everything But the Girl. Okay, I get that. Let's take a look at this mixtape. Jann Arden is dropping a mixtape of cover songs. You gotta be. Oh man, you gotta be. Dun, 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 dun. Good tune by Desiree. Love that. She'll open 2025 with a collection of cover songs. Following her 2020 album Descendant, the 11 cover songs mixtape finds Arden reinterpreting some of her favorites by Sia, Seal, Joan Osborne, Robin, Don Henley, Chris Isaak, and more. Well, she's definitely got an all-star lineup there. Wow. So, I'm going to go back to this. Our artists do not consider original songs from other artists, as they only record their own material. So that's, I mean, what do you do when you come across something like Jann Arden is dropping a mixtape of cover songs in 2025 when that email was sent off on January 8th, 2025? January 28th, 2025. Well, I love this game. I think I told you guys this in the video. So I reached out and I quoted her as, "Our artists do not consider original songs from other artists, as they only record their own material." Even in 2025? I sent this 2 hours ago. Now, in the past 2 hours, before even considering making this video, I needed to, hey, Dirk, how are you today, man? We're talking about Bruce Allen and his talent agency and how their artists do not consider original songs from other artists, as they only record their own material. And Jann just dropped a mixtape of covers. So here's the first thing that I thought to myself as an artist. I was thinking, boy, would I really not want Michelle as my agent potentially, because she clearly doesn't know my body of work or what I've recently released in 2025 at the beginning of the year. That's the first thing that I thought of. Because it's if this is public information, then that makes this whoop 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 whoop. That makes this a lie? I think that's what that is. It's definitely fallible. So maybe before I get to the heavy L word, we'll just call it the F word and we'll call it fallible, because this from Jann Arden Management does not line up with this January arrival. Something doesn't add up here, folks. So, as I mentioned, I took a couple minutes to, well, I've been talking to a few of my favorite musicians this morning about this, getting their thoughts. showing them the email before even coming on stream about this, because I understand that Bruce Allen or Michelle potentially could see this. And Michelle, I'm sorry, but what you wrote was a lie. And not only a lie, but a blatant, relevant lie. You said to me 16 hours ago that your artists don't consider original songs from other artists as they only record their own material. But here on Exclaim, one of the heaviest music publications in Canada, it says that Jann is dropping a mixtape of cover songs. So I wonder to myself, what is this? It's a heavy question, Michelle. I'm sorry that if you are watching this or if this video comes to you, but the two don't match up, and I know this because I can read, and that's pretty much it. So I really hope that you got this email where I quoted you, and then I took a screen capture of this. I know it might sound petty, or you might read it as petty if it ever comes across your desk or across your screen, but it's not. It's just, it is what it is. And I'm sure that's pretty much what you really wanted to say, maybe at the signature of your email. Maybe like, take care, it is what it is, Michelle, Jann Arden Management. I don't know. But what I do know is that you can't stop, you can't get discouraged about an email like this. All you can do is send another one. Send another one. Find somebody that you love. Find somebody that you would want to work with or that you dreamed of working with. Send them the email. Send them the link to a song that you might be working on. It doesn't have... You're not trying to get signed. I'm not trying to get signed by Bruce Allen. I'm not trying to get signed by Bruce Allen. I just wanted maybe a constructive criticism. Maybe like, hey, yeah, I can definitely tell that this song was inspired by Stan Rogers. Maybe something like that. Good day to you. That would have made any artist's day, let alone mine. Any artist would have been stoked to have something like that. So, as I mentioned, I'm going to reach out to a few more artists that, you know, helped me, that inspired this song. Aside from Stan Rogers, Jimmy Rankin, and Stompin' Tom, you know, two of those guys are not with us, unfortunately, so I won't be able to work with them, or they won't be able to hear this, unless it's through the stars in the ether. But I'm going to continue this journey, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I did want to keep it short because this is a live stream, and I do intend on making an actual concise video out of this content. I know that this is happening a lot, but I just want, you know, artists that might be watching this, do not get discouraged. There's no reason to let something like this. This is a very, very long game, and if you're as passionate as you are about your music, you want to stay in this game as long as possible. Find somebody else to work with. You know, there's a popular saying in sales, they're not my client. That conversation didn't go very well. They're not your client. First impressions are very important, and this first impression was caught up in a big ol' fibbidoodle. A big fibbidoodle, folks. This is a fib. Because she said that they don't listen to original songs from other artists. Well, you must have. You must have, right? You must have. Like, how does one learn a Seal song? Kissed by the Rose is not easy, okay? You gotta listen to that music, okay? This is a fibbidoodle. So, I just want you guys to know and be aware out there that this is a tough, tough industry. The Canadian industry is even tougher. This is not the United States. This is a smaller talent pool. I hope that putting myself out on the firing line for you guys today to show you guys some real shit, I hope that this helps somebody out there. So, other than that, I'm going to listen to some more Noel Gallagher being awesome. And good day to you. I love you all. Please take care of yourselves. Don't let the man get you down. And just keep on keeping on, because this game is incredible, and I love this game, and I love you.
That's what you are.
Uh-oh. So you don't need the Priory or any of that stuff?
No, the Priory... Why would you take into an hospital to pay somebody $4 an hour to tell you things that really you should already know about yourself?
It's called common sense, isn't it?
No, I mean, if any of you are watching, give me the money. I'll sort it out for you.
Doesn't he? I mean, he's a brilliant singer for a start off. And also...
So it's not a bad thing to say.
Hey, Liam, if you're watching, they started laughing first, all right?
He is a brilliant singer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, he is a brilliant singer. He's a great singer. You're a great guy and a great singer. No, you are. No, seriously, they are actually laughing. They're instigating this, not me. So we'll be doing auditions for singers.
As I predicted he was going to score, and he did.
Yeah.
He asked me to the final and told me to wear all the same clothes and all that malarkey. He's a very superstitious man. And, of course, I did wear all the same clothes, and they won. So, in theory, I actually won the World Cup. For Italy.
Give me a break.
I'll tell you what, if I'd have turned up in the wrong colour wear, they wouldn't be world champions now.
You reckon?
France would... It goes without saying, doesn't it? If I wore all the same clothes at his behest and they won the World Cup, who won the World Cup? Knowledge.
Oh, you know.
And drugs were around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you got stuck into them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference between the middle classes and the working classes. The middle classes experiment with drugs. The working classes get